Hello, welcome back to the Empty Thoughts podcast. I'm your host, Nick.
Bitch, I'm the number one host. Don't you ever. No, I'm just joking.
My husband, Andrew.
Don't you ever. This is so. This is like the second time that we've had to record this intro today.
Yeah, I know. We just went,
So, but we're gonna come in with the positivity and enthusiasm that we had the first go.
I imagine all podcasters probably have these frustrations from time to time.
I'm sure they do. They also have people that work for them, behind the scenes and stuff. But you know what? It's a lot easier with we have a lot of technology and stuff, and we've had a lot of time to play with this Riverside app and whatnot. And we've learned that it's best to record using the laptop, instead of like a phone or even the iPad for whatever reason. Whatever. Anyways, guys, welcome back to the Empty Thoughts podcast.
Yeah,
we've been away for quite a while.
we have.
But it feels really great to be back.
We're just chilling here in our living room. I just saw like a thing on this YouTube video we have on in the background. Kara and Nate on YouTube. They're great. They travel the world, been everywhere. But I just saw like a clip of them doing COVID tests, and I just was thinking like, those were the days.
Is that what they just did on there? I wasn't even paying attention.
Well, I just saw a clip on one of these of them doing a COVID test, and I was just like, oh my god, those were the days.
Yep, they were. So we've been away for quite a while. I think the last time we recorded and uploaded not the last time we recorded, I need to stop saying. The last time we uploaded a recording was in September of 2024.
Right.
That's quite a while ago. A lot and so little has happened in that time too, which is just
right.
So yeah. If you're still here with us, guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. This is officially our first episode of what will be season 2 of the Empty Thoughts podcast. Nick and I are the co-hosts of this podcast. I know that there may have been some confusion because I was just doing whatever for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nick and I are doing this together. We're gonna upload weekly.
Yeah.
Sundays.
Yeah.
The time on Sunday, I guess, will probably vary because, I mean, oh my god, the cats are insane.
See, we're just living our life.
Yeah, if you're here, thank you so much. If you're new, amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. I did notice that our follower count on social media had gone up a little bit over the few months too, which I thought was interesting. Not even porn bots following either, because we got a lot of like porn bots in the inbox.
Oh yeah.
But they're real people following us, which is great.
Yeah. Definitely.
So yeah, thank you guys for
well, I don't know. I think the world,
or if you're new. I just want to quickly wait, what were you saying with the world?
Well, I just think that's possible too, because as time goes on, even with older episodes, people come across various channels at different times, and I think that I don't even know how to put it in words, like that we're just your average couple living our life doing a podcast that a lot of people like could maybe, especially in this world we're living in right now, like they might.
In this world, we're probably not your average couple.
Well, I mean that they're listening to us and just feeling like, oh, they're not some billionaire, some millionaire that they can't relate to, or you know what I mean.
We're billionaires to be, though, so keep that in mind.
You never know.
No, we do know.
Right.
There's billions on the horizon, and it's not from the podcast. We don't expect you guys to get us there. We just know that there's billions in the future.
Absolutely.
So September 2024, we have a lot to talk about, and I'm gonna say we have sat down to record a couple of times, and in between then and now, in particular, the beginning of December towards Christmas, we did record an episode. It wasn't much different than anything else we record, honestly, but like listening to it back was a trip. I was like, this is like really, like we were both just sounded really angry. And just like miserable. And I was like, this is such a weird thing to put out for our friends to listen to this close to Christmas. Like people struggle around the holidays and stuff. Like,
yeah, you're right.
They don't need to listen to us bitch and moan about stuff like when
that doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter to them, at least, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna be a little bit more conscious of that going forward. At least, I mean, we're gonna be ranting. Like, I mean, that is what we do. Like, as
when something needs to be talked about, it'll be talked
when
about.
it needs to be discussed, we're going to be discussing.
Yeah.
And that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah.
And as Nick would say, speak your truth.
Yeah.
And live your authentic truth. And that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So we have a lot to catch up on.
Yeah.
But we've sat down to record a couple of times. Christmas we even advertised it on our Instagram. Ooh, advertised.
Yeah.
That we were going to post it, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Because it was angry. Fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. But we didn't even consciously step away from the podcast. It was just something that happened with, I guess, probably just like season change, like seasonal depression. Like I was going through a lot of stuff like mental health wise. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God. Sorry. Where we're recording on a laptop, I just got a pop-up. HP printer wanted to make a change on my laptop. Or on the laptop. It's like, no. Yanked.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of recording. And as we've said, we've tried to record a couple of times. The last time we recorded. Okay, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. That just kind of threw me off for a sec.
Yeah.
So basically, we didn't even like consciously step back from this, but my mental health declined. I think maybe yours did too in retrospect. And we were just like going through it.
Yeah.
But we're not anymore. I mean, we kind of are in ways, but we're working through it.
And if you're Canadian, you kind of know what we mean. Like, just given
seasonal depression,
our climates are
the normal
two extremes. Like, summer is like, for the most part, like extremely hot at times, and it's, you know, even some other places in Canada, they have it way worse in the winter than even we do in the winter where we are. So seasonal depression is a thing.
Yes.
And we kind of come out of our shell start to around this time of year where our moods shift.
This year was
the weather's nice.
Different for me though.
Yeah.
It was. I've never been as mentally ill as I was.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say was because I've honestly come out of it now.
I think sometimes people don't even realize.
Alexa, we did not address you, baby girl. You better keep on playing Mayhem. What is she doing over there? Honey, I didn't ask. Okay, good. It's so funny that she just like will intrude and then say I'm not quite sure how to help you with that. I was like, well, we didn't ask you for help, Alexa.
Yeah, I know.
This is an exciting episode.
Because it's just
our first episode back for season 2. But Lady Gaga just released a record yesterday. There's some discourse online. We love to discuss that over a lot of things related to the record, I guess. Mainly, we'll talk about that after, but yeah, I'm excited to talk about this today. We have a lot to talk about, as mentioned. We've already covered that we didn't intentionally step away from the podcast.
Yeah.
We have tried to record a couple of times to like kind of just like wrap a little bow on our inconsistent 2-year-long season 1. That was we didn't do that. But a couple of days ago, we did actually decide that we were going to bring it just felt right. The stars had aligned. Like this is the perfect day to bring back the podcast.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, Nick and I prepared. We recorded a wonderful, beautiful, our best episode.
Right.
This is actually the best episode. But before this episode that we're recording right now, it was the best episode probably ever done.
Yeah.
It was so great. We covered so much. I went in depth on really in depth on the mental health situation, which I'm not doing again because like it just doesn't feel necessary. Like honestly, like that was even me just kind of like I was oversharing. I didn't need to.
Right.
So like we kind of covered that. We had covered honestly everything.
Yeah.
And we went to go listen to it back, and it was like just like it sounded so bad.
Yeah.
Like it sounded like my mic was being turned on and off. What the hell? Like, and I tried to like change because like we use the Riverside app to record, and it's a great app, and it lets you like kind of like cancel noise out in the back and like enhance voices and stuff like that. And I was like doing that, and I export the file like 3 or 4 times to listen to it.
Yeah.
Different, like fooled around with like different things each time, and it still sounded the same. Like I was cutting in and fucking out. Yeah. I was like, that's so weird. Like, why does it sound like I'm just randomly like, where's the beginning of like the podcast? Like, it didn't clue in until today when Nick and I were running through to sit down and do this again. Right. That we've listened to it back. On the other side there, babe. We listened to it back, and I was like, oh my god, it sounds like my mic is like being like turned on and off again. I looked at my mic, and it actually was turning on and off. I was like, what the hell? So took it out of like the mic stand, and I realized I had it like hooked onto the mic stand in a way that was like pushing against the power button on the microphone.
Yeah.
And it was turning the fucking microphone on and off. And honestly, like if that's not just the universe every time that we've ever put out an episode, like it's never just been like well thought out, well planned. And even if it was, like it was like fuck that, everything is gonna break. And you're not gonna realize until you've recorded the entire episode and told everyone an episode is coming that it's gonna break. So I am insanely aware that like the podcast has been inconsistent at best and hard on the head to listen to, honestly. At worst. At worst. Honestly, at times I believe that it was. Like we were just on here rambling, especially me, and like the audio was really bad and you couldn't even hear me. And it's like I'm sitting here telling people to go listen to this thing as if like it's like, you know what I mean? Like I'm proud of that. Like I don't. It's insanity. So that just goes to that's so needless to say, this season is different. We're bringing consistency.
Definitely.
We're bringing audio consistency. You're gonna be able to hear us, and I just feel like in previous like attempts to record this, we've discussed this before or already, but I'll bring it up one more time because you guys haven't heard it and the other one here. Fuck, what was I saying? I got noticed Murphy was chewing on his bone. And... okay, I honestly forgot what I was talking about. Like, I had an edible, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I had an edible, and the edible hit, and I noticed that Murphy's chewing on something. I just lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought in real time there. So we're bringing audio consistency. If I can make sure that my screensaver doesn't come up. And Nick, do you remember what I was talking about?
Oh, just how we're not consistent.
We're not consistent. Yeah, but I feel like I was going somewhere with that. But anyways, you know what, guys?
I mean, you got the BPD, the ADHD, and the BPD, and then, you know, but we're going to be consistent.
Yes, no, for sure. And that's no excuse to not be consistent.
I'm such a procrastinator.
So am I, but you know what? I want to highlight a few things. For my 30, I'm about to be 32 in April. It took me up until about 5 weeks ago to really, I don't know what changed, but something clicked inside of me and I was like, wait, like this isn't working and nothing's going to change if I don't change it. And that sounds so fucking cliche. So cliche to say, but it's so true. I was like, okay, so what am I going to do to change this? So I started like, I'm still kind of tinkering with my daily schedule and whatnot, but I've implemented some things that have actually been so just incredible for me. I have started like a cardio routine on a treadmill for 40. I started at a really low time. I'm not going to really share that here right now because it's embarrassing, but at the end when it was under 20 minutes, let's just put it that way. I worked my way up to 50. And today was like my best workout on it. It felt so fucking great. I'm also in therapy now, like actual therapy with a legitimate therapist that like not just like Facebook. Not the void on Facebook. And you know, no offense to anyone on Facebook that's been there for me as I've documented my every single mood over the past couple of decades. But now I have a therapist. I've been consistently going to an AA meeting with a family member on Zoom, which has been incredible for me because I'm a homebody. If it's outside of the house, which is something I am working on, I can talk myself out of it really quickly, especially if there's other people there that I have to be vulnerable around and stuff. Like, it's just, you know, like I'm not as sad as it may sound to some people, and I am acknowledging that it could sound kind of pathetic. I would prefer not to go to a room full of what I would consider strangers and discuss my most intimate details of why I'm an alcoholic and stuff. It's not appealing to me. It's Alcoholics Anonymous, so I can't say who, unfortunately, but having this person in my life that has consistently over the years since I stopped drinking continued to reach out to me to join her AA class or her AA meeting, even though I would just decline every single time or just not show up. I'm thankful for her because now I'm going. She made it feel really comfortable. I didn't speak really so much on my first meeting, but now I'm at a point where I do speak. I'm implementing like a lot of things in my life that are just have been life-changing for me. And I feel different in a really positive, great way. I've taken a step back from work for a little bit. I'm on a paid leave, which is fine.
Yeah.
I've accepted that. I'm not embarrassed about that.
No.
I mean,
no.
I don't, you know, I mean, like, this is the first time in my life ever since I've been 13, 14 years old that I've ever had to step back from work. Ever, besides the pandemic.
Right,
the pandemic, everyone had to fucking step back from work. It was really hard for me to get back on the bandwagon after that, right?
Yeah.
But
oh yeah.
I think it was hard for a lot of people too. I was trying to force like kind of like the healthcare thing and whatever. I was on like some sort of high horse there for a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah. Positivity.
Well, the uncertainty of like when's this gonna end? Like,
it's like, yeah, I'm taking a step back from work.
Yeah.
And I journal. I journal. My journal's like halfway full. It's just whatever the hell's on my mind. I think at first when I started journaling is something I used to do when I was younger.
Yeah.
And a lot of things I used to do when I was younger, like I've like kind of like had like a mental block on for whatever reason. Like I guess as an adult, like I can acknowledge that there are certain aspects of my childhood that maybe aren't ideal and were probably painful for a young person to go through. And I've put up mental blocks. So like there's certain music that I wouldn't listen to, like older Avril Lavigne songs. Or, this year I'm going to an Avril Lavigne concert. I wouldn't journal. I would kind of avoid reading books. Just like certain things. Like I used to love musicals. Musicals was my life. I used to be obsessed with like Rent and like Hairspray and like all of the things. Like those are my two favorites. So and like Rent was like something that like just like really like, you know what I mean? Like just like really changed my life like as a young person. Like just like the music and like just I had never been talked to about AIDS or transgender individuals or anything, and it was just like so. Is Murphy in the garbage? Murph out of the garbage. Thank you. Nice shot. It was truly just revolutionary. Truly, for me as a young person to have that movie, especially when I was in a household where the terms like where you're going to use a slur because this is I'm a gay man and I feel like it's important to use in this certain aspect. Where the term like faggot would be thrown around daily, or I'd be questioned if I was gay daily as if it was a negative thing, or if so it was like it wasn't exactly like I had a lot of things or people or anything to look to for that support. So having music and movies truly were all I had for a very long time. But I put up mental blocks and stuff for a while and I didn't realize it. It's just crazy what a little bit of time can do for a person. And it's some minor adjustments to your daily routine. I'm also eating better. I'm back on a diet. I've joined a workout challenge, the LC challenge, Laura Clendenin or something. My sister has offered to pay for my first month to see if like I can like keep up and whatever. And I'm very grateful for that and the support. It's just crazy what a little bit of time can do, because 5 weeks ago, if you would have asked me, I couldn't even tell you what was going on tomorrow. So we're just in a good place here on this side, guys, and I hope you guys are too. I truly hope you do. But with that said, I need to take a really quick drink of water. So I'm going to just pause this. You guys won't even notice, I promise. And then we'll be right back. Don't call tonight. Don't call tonight. Don't call tonight.
Of LAX. Just
LAX?
Planes to watch while we're recording.
Oh, darn. Oops. Okay. Sorry, I pressed pause again. We're quenched. I feel like I have spent a good portion of time talking about myself, and I'm happy to do that again here in a bit. But Nick, what have you been up to in the past few months? Like, where have you been? Like, fill the girls and the gals in.
I mean, right now, obviously, I'm on a bit of a march. I mean, I drive charter bus, so I mean, if there had been any charters, obviously.
Oh, sorry, babe. I'm sorry to cut you off, but Ellie has responded.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, this is pertinent information to Nick. He actually has been waiting for this. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, because
I'm not being rude. I do want to. I even want to. Like, This is
well, do I tell them like what the prank is?
Of course.
Okay, so yeah. So anyway, well, Andrew randomly yesterday told me we have a group chat with our friend Ellie, and he told me to text her in the group chat, and
okay, so I got him to text her in the group chat.
Oh yeah, the crow, and text her and tell her the crow is back in theaters for a couple of weeks. We should go see it. And she goes,
The Crow,
the
like
Crow
this.
we watched in the fall
Yes.
with a question mark, and then goes WTF in caps. And I'm like, yeah, we should go. And she goes, ha ha ha, why is it back in theaters? And I was like, let's see it tomorrow. And then I said, Black crows can have multiple meanings, including bad luck, death, and wisdom.
Oh, you said that.
So they decided to do a 2-week screening because it goes well with the nonsense in the United States. So then today, Andrew told me again, actually right before the podcast, to message the chat again and say, Ellie, we're seeing The Crow tomorrow at 3 p.m. if you want to go. Hope you can come, babe. We miss you. And she goes, but we already saw The Crow.
We did see The Crow. And guys, this isn't the good Crow with Brandon Lee.
Yeah.
This is like The Crow with Bill Skarsgård and FKA Twigs that we watched just over like a couple of months back. Honestly, I think that we watched The Crow and then our mental health declined brutally after.
Right.
I think that
maybe it was as a
there might be a correlation between the two.
Yeah.
Because Crow came out end of August. We watched that in the fall. Mental health declined brutally, worse than ever has been before. Yeah. I'm actually gonna have to look into that further, but
so I just told her it's okay.
Ellie
Are you coming?
Hated the movie. She fucking hated the movie.
Right.
So me being me, like just being like the worst person on the planet that I can be sometimes.
Right.
I made a lot of edits of her with like Bill Skarsgård dressed up as a crow and his character. And crows flying around her and stuff. And,
right.
Sometimes I'll call her Crow or ask her why she's behaving of Crow. Just to mess with her. And so that's why, because like this might sound we need to give context because
we just need to make you aware that the friendships that we have, some of the stuff we'll send back and forth with them, it's literally all in good fun.
Yeah, totally.
They know what we're like.
Oh, we love.
But I mean, there's probably some people out there that would say y'all are fucked or you're not normal, and that's fine. But our friends know that they never know what might come out of our mouth, or you know what I mean. So, yeah. Oh,
sorry, I had to tell her because I do want to go see a movie tomorrow, and I don't want her. She is very selective when she's going to text back.
Well, I know, because we might not hear from her till an hour before the movie.
So when you respond to her, actually, I will right now, because you know what? We're going to reel it back in because we've given you guys The Crow. But Nick, I had asked you what you've been up to.
Oh, yeah.
I still want to know, and I know that people do too. So give us
So I'm like essentially, I have a run during like Monday to Friday, like an after school program. So obviously, you know, when it's March break, I'm off, but I do technically drive charter bus. So if there was any charters or whatever, you know, over March break, obviously I would have done them. But like, so it's been a quiet week. But prior to that, no, it's just I've had lots of extra runs too. Like, there's always a lot of trips in the wintertime up to a local ski hill in the area, Crab Mountain. So I've been doing that and just living life, living the dream, I guess. I mean, some people would say that as a joke, but no, legit living the dream. We have a simple life the way we like it. I love what I do, being a bus driver, and I'll be back to work on Monday, but I thrive on routine too, so I look forward to getting back to it and hearing what all the kids did for March break. I know one of them actually went to China.
What?
Yeah.
For March break, it's only like a couple days. It takes that long to get to
Well,
China.
I feel like they might be gone for a bit longer, but yeah. They're from China, but yeah, I can't wait to hear about. I know there was.
You do love your job.
There was a bunch of them going on trips, so I look forward to hearing about them. And yeah,
I'm excited for you to have that. And see, that's something that you couldn't wish for anything more than to be looking forward to going back to work after a March break for certain aspects.
I know.
And have found that in your professional life is such a gift.
Yeah.
It really is.
Absolutely.
It really is. You found your calling with bus driving. That's the thing.
I know.
It's either that or a pilot. But we've actually started to discuss at some point you're going to look into taking your pilot license just for a personal. And at some point, you are looking into it because it's something that you've been passionate about forever.
I should, and I've had so many people say you'd be
we've
such a good
discussed
pilot.
this.
No, I know.
There's a Moncton Flight School. We've actually we've looked at pricing even is as current as today.
Yeah.
This is not something that's going to happen tomorrow.
No.
I mean, unless we get that billion real quick.
Yeah,
sooner
right.
than expected. But it is something that I think that you seriously are going to do.
I know I should.
Yes, and not even a should. I think you are going to do it at some point. I really do.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, you found a lot of happiness in your professional life, and I think that that's another thing that you're gonna do at some point.
Yeah.
Because we're in our mid-30s.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in my early 30s. You're in your mid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I mean, in a few years' time, we're gonna be not in the debt that we're in now because we are paying it down.
Yeah.
We're gonna be in a different position, and we're gonna be able to invest in our hobbies.
Yeah.
And our other passions.
Yeah.
So it's something that you need to actually start realizing is a real possibility. If that's something that you want to do, you are going to do it at some point within the next 5 to 10 years. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's really important to actually to understand that because it is something you are going to do if you want to.
Yeah.
And that's just I mean, I'm not trying to sound preach or anything, but there are certain things in life that I thought maybe would just happen for me, and I just it kind of came with the therapy that I've started and all the things I've implemented to do some reflecting. I've realized that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But these things are going to come, but we're just going to have to wait and work for them.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, they'll come to us, and I think that we've both. Even right now, you were in a mindset where you can't even see it being a possibility of you doing that ever. But you are going to that's a real possibility of something that you can do.
Yeah,
you're more than smart enough to do that. Are you kidding?
I know.
I just think it's. I don't know. I just think it's.
I know.
Yeah,
you're right.
But what else have you been up to? It's been a long time since they've chatted. How was your Christmas? How was your New Year? We saw your sister briefly? They went away to Florida.
Yeah. No, Christmas. We had a good Christmas. Our Christmas was quiet this year.
It was perfect.
But it was perfect. We both agreed on that.
We saw our parents just enough.
Yeah.
To not annoy anybody with our presence. And...
Yeah. We saw my sister and our nephews, and
we don't see them enough.
We don't see them enough, but
it's such as life.
Yeah.
My sister only lives in Nakwik, and we see them a little bit more than we see your siblings.
Yeah.
But it's still not.
Yeah.
It's still rare.
And they went to
even further. Is it just adds a lot of. It's unfortunate, but we can make more of an effort to on both ends. I'm sure
we saw them a bit before Christmas because they went to Disney for Christmas, Florida for Christmas.
Sorry, I don't know why I went there.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, we kind of saw them before Christmas, but they went to Disney last year. But I think they wanted to go probably once more because I mean, look at where we are right now. It's south of the border. Canadians aren't even entertaining going there on a vacation right now, and literally taking the penalty and canceling their vacations. All in good reason too. There's perfectly valid point across behind it, but whatever. Who doesn't know about that? Honestly, so we don't even really need to get into that. I mean, it's everywhere. We all know what's going on. And we all know who's gonna win, and it's Canada.
Wait, is it like hockey or something?
No, it's the trade war.
Oh, I remember a few weeks ago.
Canada always wins, and we'll win this rough patch too. So we'll just leave her at that.
Oh yeah,
because y'all know what's annoying.
Going on. I hate it. I hate that we're even in this position where we have to fight with
because it's legit so petty, man.
And besides that,
don't get me wrong, the things he's doing are dangerous, but it's petty.
They're dangerous, but what upsets me is that we are being forced to have a trade war, etc., with some of the most hostile people on the planet.
Yeah.
So unhinged, don't have a clue what they're fucking
aren't
doing.
Even mentally in this world.
It just makes me feel uneasy because
it's so crazy.
Trump is just not well, and I'm not even trying to if you're a listener and you supported Trump, fuck you. But like, also, we're not here to tell you who to vote for. Besides, like, you shouldn't have voted for Trump, and fuck you for that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, if that's what you did and you are okay with it after seeing what's going on right now, not even just with America, but how he's supporting the. We don't really talk about this much on the platform because like we don't like to get political, but like the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians, like how he's completely cut off U.S. aid to the Ukraine,
removed themselves from the World Health Organization,
oh my God,
and there's all these
whatever
outbreaks.
He did that before. It's these other things that have just. If you still can stand by that, I'm sorry, but as a human being, you're a piece of fucking shit on another level.
That's where we're at. That's where I think most people
genuinely studied, and that's all I'm gonna say on that right now.
Yeah. How dare you?
And I think that's honestly like kind of like the tone of what our episode in December was.
Especially if you're an American that supports that. Go and Google everything Canada's done for you, and that has always done for you, and that will continue to do for you even during this presidency. Like, fight fires. We will.
Oh yeah, I'm so sick of people being like, I don't know, there was no one good to vote for. Both candidates sucked, and it's like, oh, okay, fucking.
When in reality, no, they didn't. Like, it's just come on.
Yeah,
it's just anyway. Look at us ranting, and we just kind of went into the spiel about
positivity
and positivity.
We had to be fucking disgustingly positive where we're gonna shove shit down people's throats.
No, and I mean that
if you're gonna be a bullshit motherfucker and vote for literally what I just listed,
vote for hate.
Well, I mean, yes,
honestly,
essentially to the core of what every decision they make feels like. It's just so rooted in hate.
Yeah,
and it's not even just hate towards one specific group of people or one person. It's everybody that's not a billionaire.
Everybody. It's like not even just their country. Everybody.
Oh, yeah. No, it is everybody. Yeah, it's everybody. Yeah.
It's so crazy. Anyway,
like, deportations and stuff. Like, I'm so sick of hearing
separating people. Yeah.
He's approved. I don't even know what that means by approving, but he's given the go ahead for ICE to go into schools. That is so disgustingly fucking traumatic.
Imagine.
Like, you can't wait until they get off of school and go home at least before you ruin their fucking entire existence. You have to rip them out of fucking, like, is this like some sort of like movie? Is this like a game? A literal video game? Like, I feel like Nick, the thing is, as I just said that, I realize that it is to them. They are billionaires and they can do and they've proven they can do and say whatever the fuck they want, and they're going to get away with it.
Yeah.
And they're bored, so now they're just literally playing everybody on the goddamn planet like chess pieces.
And they're putting tariffs on people and then pulling them back so they can manipulate the stock market. And then they're buying all these stocks that once they reinstate things are going to make them billions of dollars. It's like, hello, like,
yes, true, but we're going to be switching gears because fuck politics.
I know.
Fuck you guys all for that.
That has to be talked about right
true.
now, especially. But yeah.
Give them an update on Murphy, how he's been with like his ear and all that.
He's great. Murphy's great. I'm so glad like we've gotten through that stage, like with his ear always being infected. Like it was just brutal. It felt like it never went away. I'm sure we were ripped off multiple times by the vet we took him to first.
Every time
who wasn't in this city really. I'm not sure why that office is even in existence. But we won't even go there. We don't want.
I will say there's been a few times where they've helped us.
It's
few and far between, and they do take us for a ride, and they take everyone for a ride.
Yeah, they do. But we finally took him to a vet, and they
so great with him.
They're so great, and
we're gonna plug them too. We're here for all y'all, all of you guys. Sorry, I don't keep on talking like I'm not well. Like it's because I'm stoned, and like I just need to get like I had an edible. I don't know if I mentioned that in this cut. I did have an edible. Anyways, I'm like talking like I'm from the country, like Stanley, like y'all, like no, you guys. Now I've lost my train of thought again. What was I talking about?
Murphy and the vet.
Okay, Royal Road Veterinarian Hospital. Oh, so Murphy's looking up.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They're amazing. They're incredible. They've been just truly wonderful, and it does matter who you bring your pets to because, I mean, peace of mind is important. You know, like for everyone all around, and like just seeing how great they are with him is just
It's like they don't overbook themselves. They're
No.
on time.
That's the
You're
worst
given
about
a
Main
room
Street.
right away, because the reality is with animals, not all animals get along. Like,
that's the worst about the other vet.
Yeah.
On Main Street is
And you sit there for 20 minutes.
Yes, with a bunch of animals coming in and out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, stressing you right the fuck out. And
Like,
then you get into the room and it's very hot in there, and he's like trying to get you
and
to hold
he's
him
insulting you the whole time.
Yeah,
literally.
I will say the dog is very overweight, but we're coming out of the winter now, and with me getting my body right and stuff, we have been working on just, I mean, it's
Getting
kind of
his
impossible to walk
body
sometimes
right.
when it's pouring and you're like literally falling everywhere. And Murphy is
Yeah.
his paws are so sensitive, so we try our best, and it is a lot better when it's not the winter.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he has a few pounds to shed, but you know what? So do we, and we're working on it. So he's losing it. But I think certain shaming is acceptable and important.
Yeah, I think
Shaming us for
sometimes
his
he
weight
would
is
just go overboard.
Oh, for sure. But even when we go to Royal Road, like they're very gentle about it though. And I know what you mean. It's all about delivery.
Yeah.
But sometimes people need to hear it. We need to hear that he's overweight so that we can stop giving him fistfuls of ham.
And he kind of slides out of Murphy kind of slides out of collars, so we have like a harness on him, and like
his fucking neck is not a normal neck.
No, and like that would be so rude about it. Like the last time he was like our last time we went there, we'll never go again. He was like, he needs to be on have a collar.
Have you seen his neck? His to the vet.
I've been bitten before and had to go to the hospital. I don't want that to happen again.
I was like, well, he's probably gonna bite you still, even if he has a collar on.
Anyway, like no, you don't need anything like that at Royal Road Vet. Like just so rude. Like no bedside manner. Like, and no. I could go on for hours the experiences people have had there.
Totally. I'll tell them really quickly before we move on. Back when I had a very beautiful, sweet kitty that I loved so much for many, many years. Her name was Zazie Moans.
Mm-hmm.
I got her when I moved to Moncton for a year back in 2014.
Yeah.
I moved there with no friends until I went to school. I made some friends and reconnected with people or whatever. But for the first month that I was there, I wasn't in school. I was just working at the Home Depot.
Right.
I didn't know anybody. It was whatever. It's a very weird situation to be in. So I got some cats. I was drunk and I got some cats off of Kijiji.
Yeah.
Literally, they were on Kijiji back in like 10 years ago. No, I'm not sure if they still are, but they were back then.
Yeah.
I adopted a cat that was named Larry. He stunk so bad. He was the worst. I had to surrender him because something was wrong with him. Something was severely wrong with him. They gave me a really sick cat, but they also gave me Zazie Moan with him. And I almost didn't take Zazie.
Oh, really?
The ad was that the cat they need to rehome one cat, the long-haired cat, not because he was sick or anything, but because the landlord would only let them have one cat.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, I'll take the cat named Larry, this old man cat. Stunk so fucking bad.
Oh my god,
so fucking bad. He was the worst. Oh my god, I can't wait to tell this next part too after I run through. And so this woman, her name was Carol Dworon. Don't know. She changed her name a couple times on Facebook, and I don't know how to find her anymore. Literally. She would pop up sometimes like with the name Angela and stuff, and like very, very odd. So I don't know who or what her name actually is, but Carol Dworon, she ended up convincing me the date of drop off of Larry to drop off my beautiful, loving angel cat that came to be that I didn't know of at the time was Zazie Moan. And she was like, I just really can't separate the two of them. Like, I feel so bad. They're reacting really weird. And I was like, oh my god, like, yeah, for sure. Like, whatever. One more cat. And I was like, whatever. She's really cute anyways.
Mm-hmm.
She actually was pissing on the floor. She would get into the litter box and piss, like stand in the litter box, but piss onto the floor. Yeah, like really Zazie Moan, so I had to litter train her. And she was a 4-year-old cat. Like she would stay in the litter box, but I never taught her to pee in it. She was such a sweetie. Oh. She was the best cat in the entire world. I loved her so much. Yeah. So much. Anyways, Larry, I had to surrender him because he got sick. He was always puking. It was all through his fur. Really quickly before I move on, before I surrendered him, I had a friend over, Melissa Haynes, at the time. She's not my friend anymore. Not many people are from that time. She was like, oh, like Larry's disgusting. Like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, I was like, do you smell that? I was like, it smells like vanilla. She's like, what? I was like, what? I was like, his fur smells like vanilla. Smell it. So I've never seen anyone smell anything like this in my life.
What was she on, like FaceTime?
No, she was in front of me. She was sitting on my couch with the disgusting cat.
Ew.
Yes, I lived in a bachelor apartment. Sitting on my bed. And I was like, smell his fur. It smells like vanilla. And she literally, that's exactly what I said. I'll never forget it. She like grabbed his fur because he was a long fur cat. buried her face into his fucking fur. It took the biggest fucking smell. And her face, she goes, what the fuck is that? It was like, she's like, it smells like ass, man. I was like, well, he's sick. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I roared laughing, but also it was horrible because she gave me a sick cat, but also like one that wasn't litter trained. It was just a horrible situation where I had to surrender this cat to the SPCA, and I was literally crying. Even though I've only had the cat for a week.
Yeah.
The whole entire time he was so deathly sick and stinky and weird and bad.
Yeah.
Murphy just farted.
Oh my god.
Or was that you?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, we're pausing. I'm sorry, everyone's trying to kill us. Honestly, see, I don't know for sure if that was Murphy.
No, it literally was because I smelt it and I was like waiting.
Well, Norman's right here too, so.
Does Norman fart?
Are you kidding me?
Oh. Well, it was one of them. I was kind of looking at you because I was like, Andrew will notice. Like, right. I don't know how he doesn't know.
Literally asked me if Norman, our cat, farts.
Well, I only noticed Murphy's.
Oh yeah, I guess this is more gross sometimes. I don't know. I will see. I don't know. I think cats do fart.
I would think.
Now I'm questioning everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so when Murphy farted, okay, so bring back, he was crying. Sassy Moan, I had to train her with a cat litter or whatever. She ended up passing many years later, like 2018. I was living with my sister, and our place flooded in like the annual flood that we have here in town. We live in Fredericton, New Brunswick. If anyone,
And Andrew decided to
what?
That was the flood you decided to stay behind because you had to work or something.
Well, I didn't think it was gonna fucking flood the house.
Canoed out.
My sister evacuated and stuff. And I was like, well, I have to work. I worked from home, and my work wasn't letting me take the time off. I worked for, and I'm gonna call them out, Accor Hotels wouldn't let me take the time off. I was like, my place is flooding. And I woke up at 3 a.m. I'll never forget it because I was like, what is that damn noise? Like, sounded like something was beating up against the house or something, like just like storm or something. So I looked out the window and it was dark outside. It was 3 in the morning, but I could tell the water. I could just see like little ripples in the water and wind. I was like, oh my god, wonderful. I was like, so it had flooded pretty much to the beginning of the yard at this point.
Yeah, and the St. John River flows hard.
It does. I woke up the next morning and it had come up pretty much to the door. So someone had to come and get me in a canoe. I had nowhere to fucking live or stay. My cat couldn't come with me to the hotel. I got my cat back 2 weeks later from someone that was a dear friend of mine at the time that I'm no longer friends with, and my cat was so skin and bones and sick. She said, oh, she wouldn't eat and stuff. And I was like, you didn't tell me? Like, how could you not tell me this for 2 weeks and you just give me back my cat so sick? And I was like, just beside myself.
Yeah.
Truly beside myself. I didn't know what to do. I was just crying. It was horrific. It was truly horrific. And just,
oh my god,
it was horrific. I luckily reached out to the person that I got Norman, our cat Norman that we have now.
Yeah.
And I just asked her for some help. I was like, I don't know what to do. My cat is super sick. I just got her back. Like, I've never, like, she looked like she was going to die. She was so sick. It was the worst thing ever. It was the worst thing ever. So she came and got her. And it was the last time I saw her. She died. So why did I even get there? Why are we talking about Sassy? I don't know. Anyways, so we are, and she was a great cat. So
yeah.
Oh, Main Street. Yes, Main Street.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, so we can get carried away on here.
Well, we just keep getting.
But anyways, I brought her to Main Street one time, and he gave her a needle in the butt because he said that she was going to bite him, even though he doesn't fucking bite. Next thing you know, she gets this big boil on her ass, and it bursts, and you could see the inside of her bone, and we had to get her like a cone and like. Oh, it was just like a big thing, like antibiotics and like.
He's not good at doing anything that requires a needle or surgery. Like my parents' dog when we moved
used to a cat doing a little nibble.
I know
Zazzy Moan didn't bite.
Well, and then when we moved here back to Fredericton, me and my parents, we got, I think it was the dog fix there or whatever, her fix or yeah. Anyway, and her wound came wide open. You can see her inside. So we
so sad.
Literally called and we put her Thunder shirt on because it's kind of tight, like because it's to calm their anxiety, and it kind of protected her like for the night. And they said she should be fine. She'll be fine. Like, and we took her in the next day, and he restitched her and charged
so fucked up.
Like mom and dad like $300 or $400 or something like that to restitch her. It was his fault, and he was right rude. Like, disgusting. Mom was crying because he had no bedside manner.
That's traumatic as hell. That's your.
That's like going to the doctor with your child, and Yeah.
I would be sick.
Literally, though. That's like going to the emergency room with your child and like the nurses or the emergency room doctor insulting you.
But not
or
only that,
something.
but like you're already having the trauma of the wound opening.
Yeah.
And her like that is just so horrible. And
Yeah.
we've both been through some instances with this person.
Yeah.
With this place, and it's honestly incredible that it's still open. It's incredible that it's still open because
I
some
know.
people have stories like this that are very similar to ours. But
Yeah.
you know, we're really fortunate that all of our animals now that we, besides Murphy having a couple extra pounds,
Yeah.
they all are in great. Sorry, they're all in great health. Murphy has his toy. They're all very happy.
They are.
Nick and I are in good health. We're, you know, everyone is good on this part, so we can't complain. But you know, we can reminisce, and it's honestly kind of refreshing that I'm at a place right now that I can reflect on Zazie Moan, because like there's up until, I mean, I don't know when, I've not even been able to look at her. I've not been able to open her ashes. I've not been able to look at her paw print. I even have her paw print put away because like seeing it makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
But now like just kind of like looking back on it all, like she was in my life for a reason, and there was nothing I could have done to change. I couldn't have foresaw what happened to her, and there was a lot of guilt that I carried for a long time because when she came back to me, she looked like she was going to die.
Yeah.
She didn't die for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But it turned out, like, can you imagine?
I know.
It was horrific. It was truly fucking horrific.
Jeez.
But I'm switching gears. Like, we love you, Zazie Moan. Thank you for being my main girly for so many years.
Thanks for showing up one day again. We were together.
No, she was such a sweetie. But you know, we have Lady Gaga album that we need to talk about, guys.
We still, I don't even think know who left those ashes there.
No, I do. That is the one that took her to.
Oh, really? You did find out?
Yeah.
Oh,
I told you about that.
That was probably the nicest thing that could have ever happened.
Yeah, she brought me her Zazie's ashes and stuff because one of the big issues was like I was
I
wasn't expecting.
A student?
Well, I was not a student, but I was living at my sister's house and I was working a very shitty minimum wage job at the Ramada Hotel.
Yeah.
It was not I didn't realize that her bills, and honestly, like I just was a really flaky person. I was not I didn't pay this lady back. No. So she withheld the stuff from me, and that was totally valid. But she brought it to me eventually, and we made amends, and it was really great.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But you know, there's been a lot of wake up calls and a lot of instances kind of similar to that since 2020 when I stopped drinking that have really been wake up calls for me. Like I heard a lot of people over the years. I flaked on a lot of people over the years. Like I wasn't the only one struggling. Like I'm sure that this young lady also was probably struggling and didn't have, who has extra money to pay for somebody else's vet bills like the way she did. And like, you know, like, so I totally get it. And that's something that I have to, you know, deal with every day. And that's why I go to meetings. And that's why I go to therapy. And that's why I try to be a better person. I try to be kind with everybody and, you know, until I can't be. So, and that's not who I used to be. And that's all I can do. And I'm proud of that. And I'm proud of who I am. And I'm proud of just everything that is going on here. But so the new Lady Gaga album is Mayhem. It is, honestly, I love it. It's incredible. But I'm going to say, when it first dropped, I listened to it at 7:30 in the morning. And I expected it to be like bouncing off the walls, like dancing. And that's just not what it was. So I was like bummed for a minute. I was like, this was like boring. But then I re-listened like a half hour later and I realized like, okay, like I was let down because, sorry, I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to just quickly mute myself here. Anyway, sorry guys. So I re-listened to it and I was like, okay, like, no, this is like incredible. Like I just expected it all to sound like abracadabra for whatever reason. And now that I've digested the whole project, like I love the variety and the sound of it all. It's also cohesive, but it's also different still. Like it's like just, and she was so right. She said like months ago that like after listening to the first few songs you're gonna think you know what you're listening to, but you're not going to. Like it's gonna hit you and you're like, what the hell? Yeah. And I wasn't so much like what the hell, I was just like, wait, like I thought it was gonna be abracadabra and everywhere. And I was just not, and I was expecting all of it to sound like abracadabra, and I'm so thankful that it doesn't. It's such a great record. And it's for me, I love Joanne. Joanne was a really great record. I love Chromatica, but I don't find that Chromatica has a lot of replay value for me. It's not my first record to listen to when I listen to Gaga. Like right now, Dancing in Circles from Joanne's playing in the background here for us. So that's a record I love. I loved Joanne. Born This Way changed my life. That's the most cliche thing ever, but it did. It came out when I was 18. It changed my life.
Right.
We've talked briefly already about how music and media are things I cling to because I didn't have a lot of for anyone around me to like relate to.
Right.
And I mean, like, the Fame Monster was a great record, but that came out when I was like 15, 16. And like, it was like a party record for me. Like, I mean, Teeth, my God, me and the girls used to go crazy listening to Teeth.
Right.
Dancing in the Dark, is that the one? No, Monster.
Yeah.
Monster was incredible. Oh my God, there was another one. So Happy I Could Die. I'm just listening to tracks from from the Fame Monster that were incredible. Art Pop was incredible.
Is that the tour?
You saw her when she toured. You went to the art rave.
I could legit smell her perfume she had on. Like,
probably
I was like,
perfume that day.
So that if you Google that tour, like, her stage had, like, you could call them,
it was translucent,
but like you could see through it. Like, it was glass, I think, or something.
It was translucent,
like, yeah. So anyway, like, I was on the floor and there was no seats, and you could just like walk around underneath it.
And there was like bars and stuff.
Yeah, and it was just unreal. Anyway, so like you were.
I didn't go. I just know.
It was just amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Art Pop, and these are all just so like reflecting, like, also. All these records are like just like have so many memories attached to them.
Yeah.
They all are so grand when you think of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all of the music that, like, Art Pop was so massive.
Yeah.
Born This Way was so massive. Joanne was so massive, and so is this. And it just feels like we're kind of back to that. And the only reason why Chromatica wasn't, I don't think, got the moment it deserved or should have had, or why I don't find it has replay value or I don't revisit it, is because it came out in COVID. In 2020, and that's the time that I don't love to think about, and the music from that time I don't really listen to, honestly.
Yeah, you're right.
So
it's
just, there are reasons why. It's not that her previous record wasn't any good. It's just the fact that it's the time that it came out and stuff that I don't revisit it. So it feels really nice to have this record after 5 years, and for it to feel like a little bit of Chromatica sometimes, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like, I love to her vocals are insane. Her vocals are incredible on this record. Which are to be expected as motherfucking Lady Gaga. And here she is now. This is How Bad Do You Want Me from her new record. Incredible record. Incredible album.
Right.
Incredible song. Love it. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. And I'm just obsessed.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give my rundown of my favorite tracks really quick, guys. Because I feel like why not? I like to do that here. I think, okay, this is my initial listen. I'm just going to give it to you guys like after I listen to it at 7:30 in the morning. Abracadabra, Garden of Eden, Zombie Boy, Don't Call Tonight, Killa, How Bad Do You Want Me, Perfect Celebrity, Disease, Vanish Into You, Love Drug, Shadow of a Man, Blade of Grass, Die With a Smile, and then I finished with The Beast. Most of that is still, I stand by most of that after listening to it a bunch. The only thing I would change is I'd probably swap out The Beast with Blade of Grass. So it would be above Die With a Smile and Blade of Grass. The Beast is actually a banger. It's moody as hell. I woke up this morning with the first thing in my mind is like, you can't escape who you are at 11:59. I was like, bitch, is that ever? Like, it's just so. I mean, I'm sure that she wrote it about like her own feeling as like maybe a celebrity or whatever, have like an alter ego or whatever. I'm sure there's like some meaning that she had when she wrote it, but to me it was super relatable because, like, I don't know, I just feel like I've had to turn off who I am as a person like so many times in my life, and haven't we all? So it's a relatable lyric, and that she just has like a way of doing that. So I'd replace that there. Shadow of a Man would replace Perfect Celebrity. It'd be higher up on the list, Shadow of a Man, because Shadow of a Man is a tune. There are 2 songs that were on the bonus editions that came out, like Target and whatever, but we didn't hear those. We'll hear those when they do come out on streaming eventually, when she wants us to hear them. So
right.
But I'm pleased. I'm happy with it. I know that you don't typically like to give a ranking.
I just don't, just because I just listen to whatever I'm feeling in the moment. Like,
so I'd rather than asking you for a ranking, I'm going to ask you, what is your overall thought on the record? Because we've listened to it back to front.
I love it. It's the Lady Gaga we all know, and
right? That's what it feels like. It feels like she It's just doing her damn motherfucking thing.
Yeah.
And there's the Illuminati rumors are back, and people are like hashing up some old stuff about her doing spirit cookings and stuff, and it just feels like we're so fucking. It feels like we're so mad in the best way ever.
Yeah,
love it. You know that like the girlies are doing it right when there's Illuminati.
Yeah, I know,
satanic
right?
Allegations.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, the allegations are valid. Like the imagery is there, but also like fuck yeah, if that's what sells and gets you all talking, then they're gonna continue to do it.
Honestly.
But Gaga is like she's proven time and time again that she's not a gimmick. The lady, like yes, she is Lady Gaga, but she is also at her core as like who she is, Stephanie. Oh my god, I'm baked. Stephanie Germanotti.
Yeah.
I think. Oh my god, please guys don't come for me if I said that wrong. Who she is as a person, she is the real deal.
Yeah.
She can sing, man.
Well, she said in an interview recently the other night, or not an interview, that thing before her album release, that when she was set up on that date with her fiance, that the
Michael.
first thing out of her mouth was,
she's so in love.
"Do you want kids?"
Yep.
And she's just real to who she is, and
she's so in love.
She might be one of up there with one of the biggest female artists of all times, but at home she's just normal. She's getting married and she wants to start a family. It's just it's
definitely one of the most important artists of all time, of any gender, any genre. She has truly like she's
the face
of the torch, in my opinion. Like Madonna is still here. Madonna, her music was that she released MDMA, Hard Candy, Rebel Heart, all of those records I fucked with so heavily. Love them. Especially Rebel Heart. Living for Love was my shit. So I don't mean to say this as to diminish Madonna and say that she went away,
right,
or whatever she released after that isn't incredible, because it is. But I feel like Lady Gaga kind of took the torch from Madonna when it came to like just being an advocate for LGBT people and stuff like that, to bring it to the younger people. So I think that Madonna, people like them that have and continue to, not even just for LGBTQ people, but for women and they speak for all marginalized people usually, as far as I know. And I just think that those are the types of people that are going to be known forever. For different reasons, kind of like Michael Jackson. His music is, I think, a big reason why he's so prolific to this day, but also like I think he was generally a good person. But then there's also like to the other end of that, there's a lot of people that said he's a molester. We're gonna be watching Finding Neverland at some point, so I guess we'll find out on our own. Who knows? Who knows? I just know that Lady Gaga's record is really fucking good. You guys should go listen to his Mayhem. I'm hoping to get that, like, my hands on like a CD copy or something here soon, because it's a really good record. I'd really love to support her.
Absolutely.
But aside from that, like we listened to the Tate McRae record recently. That was really good. We loved it. That's a
definitely cross our fingers. Lady Gaga brings her tour.
Lady Gaga is definitely going to bring her tour to Toronto. But I'm hoping with like the rise of people bringing it to like the stadium outside of this, like there's like a big performing venue outside of the Olympic Stadium in Montreal that people use now. And also I noticed the weekend, or I know the weekend is using the location Parc Jean Drapeau or whatever for his tour. He's bringing his stadium tour to that location in Montreal on the island where they typically hold Oceania.
That's right, yes.
And he's holding 2 nights there. So I'm really hopeful that, because like that's easier for us to do. It's easier for us to justify spending $300 on a ticket for that experience if it's like not also that expensive to get to, and you know what I mean? Like it's just easier for us.
Absolutely.
And the cat is behind us trying to like get out of, we've been recording for an hour. Like we're gonna try to like finish this up because our animals are getting antsy and stuff, and we try to keep it like about an hour typically anyways. But I will say the Tate McRae record was really fucking good. My favorites are like Means I Care, Sports Car, Two Hands, Siren Sounds. The bonus track she released actually is like my number one track from that. Honestly, like I find like the visuals from this record and sonically, it's just incredible, and she's proven. She didn't need to, I don't think, but I guess maybe she did, because like she just had like a big, massive sales week. She went number one for the first time. She's released 3 records. This is her first number 1 record in the States. She sold like 180,000 records first week, and that's massive.
Really?
Like, it is. Even like when we're like, for reference, Katy Perry in her prime, I will say, or at her peak, rather, she was selling like 200,000, 280,000, but when Witness came out, she sold it in the first week.
Yeah.
Debut. She sold 180,000 ish for Witness. That was the last time she like sold over 100,000.
Yeah. And
that's a big number. So that's the closest thing I can think of off the top of my head of like another pop girl that was like big or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a big number, especially now in like 2025 when streaming count, like you have to stream so much for it to count.
Yeah.
Nobody's buying physical records.
Right.
Physically, people bought, I think, 70 to 80,000 vinyls and CDs and cassettes or whatever, physical media.
Yeah.
Which is literally like 20 or 30,000 more copies than her last record sold altogether that came before this one, if that makes sense. Like she really, really is like at the top of like her game right now.
Yeah.
Super proud of her. Super excited to see it because she's a Canadian girl. She's been working so hard nonstop, back-to-back tours, like back-to-back albums.
Yeah.
Like in Neutrogena commercials. She's doing Hailey Bieber's work. With the Road Beauty. Like I think she's doing Skims. Like,
yeah.
She's booked and busy.
Yeah.
She's booked and busy, and it's just like you can't help but feel so excited for someone that wants it as badly as she does, because like fame is totally, I'm not sure she wants it for the fame, but like she wants to be a performer, and it's something really incredible about watching someone that just wants it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
It makes you want to root for them. I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
So Tate McRae is incredible. She's going on tour with Zara Larson this summer. We're not going because it's too expensive and it's like sold out. So, but like, good for her. Yeah, I don't know, babe. Like, what are you like? We're about to wrap this up. Like, what do you want to say before?
But yeah, we're entering literally next weekend. It's the first day of spring, and
hallelujah, we're feeling
hallelujah. This winter's kind of been all over, so yeah.
It's cold today.
To enjoying the spring and summer and fall even, but I don't welcome the fall too quick because then it's right back into the winter season.
Literally,
but
fall like is a blimp.
I'm just looking forward to like the camping season and being consistent with the podcast.
Anora swept the Oscars, guys. We loved the movie Anora. It was really great. Go watch that if you can.
Yeah.
Mikey Madison took home Best Actress. That's who I was rooting for. Demi Moore was incredible too. That doesn't take away from Demi Moore's incredible performance, but Mikey Madison bared her soul and body and everything in a way that just truly was like, give her all of the money, give her all of the awards. Like, I've never like, it's very rare that you see a performance that like truly like just like impacts you for weeks after you watch it like that.
You're right.
I just wanted we had to touch on that. That was so incredible. There was a lot of drama around the Amelia Perez stuff. We have a lot to talk about in the next episode, but this one was like really important for us to like catch up.
Yeah.
And I really want to talk about Lady Gaga this time too, so we just shelved her at the end. But so every Sunday we're back, guys. You're listening to this on a Sunday. How are you? If you're not, whatever. But follow us over on Instagram. It's empty.thoughtspod.
Yeah.
We're on Facebook, Empty Thoughts Podcast.
Yeah.
Make sure you're subscribe to us, or
we will. I seem to gain a bit of a following on Blue Sky.
Yes, but hold on. Make sure you subscribe to us, follow us. Rate us 5 stars. Now, what are you gonna say, babe?
Yeah, and we'll on our link tree we'll add my Blue Sky. And if you're not on Blue Sky yet, I highly recommend it. Get on there. Don't be nervous.
We all need to get off of X or whatever.
Get on there and just like take some time to sit down and really explore it a little bit. It works a lot like X, but it's so much better. Well, and there's less fake news.
You can at least have a little bit of comfort in knowing that you're at least not giving your money and time directly to a Nazi.
Yeah.
So at the very least,
yeah, I highly recommend it. Yeah. It's actually truly amazing. Like, I love it.
Yeah, and I don't go around calling people Nazis. He's a literal Nazi. I'm sure I saw that on the news.
Clearly.
But you know what? This was wonderful, Nick. I love our time together like this.
I know, and that's why too we want to be more consistent because it's good for us.
Oh yeah,
like we're always stuck in our devices. Everyone, like,
yeah,
not just us, and
totally.
the crazy world we live in, and everything.
The animals are
so it's good. Like,
judging us though, because
right?
we've been at this.
But it's good. It is. It's good for us. It gets us off our devices, and it's just to talk to each other, even if it is just about shit.
And it's just really nice to connect with people, because before we disconnected with everybody on this podcast, we were reaching people literally all over the world, not in massive numbers, but like the listeners like were coming from like the UK, New Zealand, Australia, like just random ass places. It was really cool. Like that. Yeah, our select few people that are reoccurring coming back to our podcast are from these places, and they're I guess sharing our view. Yeah. So it's just I'm
now's the time.
Continue.
Y'all seem to like Canada. Those of you that aren't from here, I've noticed.
Oh my god! Don't invite more people. You can come here. Yeah, but like people are fucked up here too right now. They're saying weird shit. Yeah, like, they want like Trudeau is like trying to like cut back on immigration and stuff. Like shit's not perfect here either.
It's not perfect. Don't get me wrong. We're feeling very thankful that
it's expensive as hell to fucking live here.
Not in the position.
But we're grateful for our freedoms.
But we're grateful for what we have, for sure. And you know what? I'm very grateful for the outpouring of support from our allies and people from around the world, LGBT, including Americans that are feeling, well, probably sorry for themselves. So I'm very appreciative of it. So thanks. If there's any of you who listen to us, much appreciated. But we're going to wrap this up because both of us do like to ramble.
And I'm like bursting.
And
so much water.
There's always so much of a podcast you want to listen to before you get bored too. So
we're in the area of TikTok. Like this should be 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. Or at least we should put this into 40 different clips and release it. We will.
Right. We will. Oh my god. So, but thanks for listening. And follow us on our platforms. And
Empty Thoughts Pod, Empty Thoughts Podcast. Right. We are on Apple Music. We're releasing. We are going to link the Spotify playlist, which is the equivalent to what we have on Apple Music. Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Peace out.
About a week. Yep. Bye, guys. But I just want you.